I was talking to this guy named Joe at the airport today. He's in the Army. And it was this black guy that seemed intimidating at first, but then I walked up to him, and after the first 3 seconds of interacting with him, I knew that he wasn't intimidating. It just seemed intimidating because of his demeanor, how he looked, but the way he spoke wasn't very intimidating. And I had a conversation with him about the Army, just asking him questions, but the conversation was not the most important part, as I'm confident and won't talk to anyone my age or older. Still working on talking to attractive women my age. I realized though that I wanted my teammates, my soccer teammates, Philadelphia Union that I'm playing for, I wanted my teammates to see me as a superior so I can gain confidence from their inferiority of not going up and talking to another person. But halfway through the conversation, I took a glance over to see if they were looking, and I saw no one looking at me. But I did not feel like the conversation was worthless with Joe, as now it was about just myself and him and generally getting to know him, slash just the act of me getting up and talking to him for my own confidence. And then I went back to my team after I shook his hand and asked for his name, and no one was surprised or even batted an eye when I came over. No one really looked up, so I just went on my phone, as I didn't want to feel the sense of overconfidence or like, yeah, you guys saw that, I want to talk to somebody new. And I did not feel like the conversation was useless, as I got to know the guy named Joe, who's in the Army. Then this kid named Jojo walked up to me and let me know that my brother was watching my conversation, and Jojo started to ask me about the guy in the Army. And at that moment, when him, my brother, and this other kid named Murphy asked me about it, I did feel superior in that moment. But I just realized when reflecting on this, and I wrote this all in my journal, and that's what I'm just reading off of. But I realized in this moment when writing this that when I leave the Union, as this is my last trip, I'm a senior, this is my last trip with the 18s, and then I'm done with the Union. I'll be heading off to college August 20th. Today's date is June 7th. That there will be people always, I don't think that's the date, but anyways, when I leave the Union, there will not be people always around me that I gain confidence from doing things like talking to strangers. So a lot of the time at the Union, I will do this when I'm on trips, as that's when I have a lot of time to do it. And I'll just do it on my own when walking in the mall or wherever I'm at. But when I'm on trips, there's 20 plus guys, girls, a trainer that's a girl named Maria, and then another girl named Desmino. But there's 20 plus people in my group that I know me, and then I go out of my comfort zone. It's like I'm gaining confidence from them seeing me go out of my comfort zone. But then when I have a conversation with someone, when I do that in the back of my mind, then it's not authentic to that person, because I'm doing it for external motivation instead of internally wanting to know them or just for my own confidence. And I wrote that I believe my interactions can now be more genuine, as I brought this thought to my consciousness that I just described, that when I talk to others, I will try and make others, the other Union players, feel inferior as they're not going and talking to other people, and this external motivation gives me confidence. But I realized if I don't worry about others when I do these things, such as talking to other people I don't know, then my interactions, as I just described, have the potential to be so much more deeper, as now I'm only concerned with the other person across from me and not the external motivation. If this can help anybody out in the world, then cool. I used to just write these notes, like I would do something and write these notes, and I just write them in these journals. I think I have about 4 of them, almost done with this one. I haven't been very consistent. I used to do it every day, but I used to just write these notes, and then I feel like I would just lose the idea that I learned, although it's still in my subconscious somewhere. But if I come up on the situation, I'll remember. But then it's like, yeah, I just wrote it to get it off my mind, but I'm writing it and now making YouTube videos on it. So in the future, I can come back when I'm successful, making millions of dollars, helping people. I want to make a neighborhood. That's the main thing. That's going to be so exciting. Every time I think about it, I'm so excited for it. But I want to raise my kids, have a feminine wife, a beautiful wife, living in the neighborhood that I, of course, pay people to make and invest in. But I got plans for that in a playground. But anyways, I write these notes, and basically this is just a platform for me to come back, see my younger self getting to that future that I know I will have. And it's basically, instead of having it all in a journal and looking back to the journal, now it's just posting it online. That way, if my thoughts and what I'm navigating through could help anybody, then perfect. Probably not gonna edit these videos. If you guys know a guy by the name of Hamza Ahmed, this is kind of where I got this inspiration from. Not doing the exact same thing because I'm not exactly teaching, I'm just sharing my thoughts, and if you see it as helpful, then perfect. I'm just one guy in the billions of people in this world, so if you see anything that you like that I do in my life, then you can take that little piece, add it to your life, and you kind of do that from everybody you meet. Take little pieces of their life and then add it to yours, but you always have to make sure. I was thinking about this in the shower when I wanted to make this video, is that, yeah, it's cool to take little pieces from everybody and make it part of you. And I used to do this. But then I was like, well, wait, if I'm taking little pieces from everybody, then what happens to me? There is no me. Like, there is no, it's like, there's little pieces, I'll show you guys. There's little pieces of everyone. But then you see, like, there's like the little pieces from everybody, but there's a void in the middle. But if you're able to keep yourself, if you're able to keep the one thing that's unique about me, and to me, I think, I'm still trying to figure it out, but I swear I know what it is. It's just like, I don't like saying it because then it's like, it comes real. I really think it's my mind, like my confidence. It's how I think, really it is. And I'm still trying to figure that out, how I can explain it to you guys. But basically, if you can keep yourself, that one thing that's unique about you, and then take a little bit from everybody that you like, just take the good, leave the bad, and I think that's cool. But these are just my thoughts for this video. I'll probably name it What I Learned from Talking to a Guy in the Airport. What I learned about myself from talking to a guy in the airport. All right.